Namaste, my friends. Today is November 8th, 2022. It's about 7:40. I've been wandering around town for a little while now. It's a beautiful, beautiful fall morning. I love November. It is cold today. It is definitely cold. We just came off a nice warm spell. And today it is almost 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday. Crazy. But, this is normal. And I'm good with it. So, November being one of my favorite months. November and June. June, kind of obvious here in Maryland. It's everything smells good. Flowers are blooming. Perfect weather. On and on and on. November. Just something special about November. The leaves, the season changing, the reminder, the cycle of life, I guess, seasons, and just the beauty of everything. And I love the weather because the reality is I love my fall and winter clothes. In summer, all I ever wear is exercise clothes, shorts, t-shirts. I just very rarely get out of that. I mean, I always think, I'm going to wear that dress and be cute. No, I can't run around and do handstands in a dress. So therefore, my summer clothes are really boring. And I can't wait till winter and get back into my jeans and my boots and my wool. Love everything wool. My wool skirts and my wool sweaters and jackets and my turtlenecks. Yes, I love my turtlenecks. I don't know why. It just is cozy for me. So, yeah. Yay, November. So, a topic that has really come to light today is friendships. We've gotten older and we are in this stage. Sorry about that car. We're in a stage of our life where we've had a lot of living behind us. We got a lot ahead of us too, but we got a lot behind us. And that means that we have come in contact, whether we like it or not, with a lot of people. I mean, we have people from the old neighborhood where we grew up. We have people from schools or, primary school, secondary school, university, first neighborhood, young marrieds, raising kids, each stage. Each thing we do comes with a set of humans, which is a wonderful thing. So we have a lot of humans in our lives, and I find that at this stage in my life, I find it fascinating to see how some of these relationships are coming around. Sometimes we make relationships at a point in our lives where we need them. We meet different people. We're doing different things. We get a divorce. Oh my gosh, things change then. But relationships are always changing. So I think the reason why I'm bringing up relationships today is twofold. One is based on the fact that we have social media now. This is really changing the way we communicate, the relationships that we have. And two is I just had a friend's birthday come and go, and I did not call her, and I am thinking about that, and I think part of me feels bad about that, but then, the other part of me, I know there's a reason why I didn't call her. I could have pinged her on Facebook, but I don't like the pinging on Facebook. I'm not a big fan. I have to limit my social media, and today is a big day. On a side note, I am doing away with a lot of my phone time. Just for my own sanity. But I had to make that decision, and it was a hard decision to make. I love her. I want the best for her. But, we became good. We didn't become friends. We both grew up in the same county. She's like 2 years older than me, so she was kind of moving in a few different circles. However, we have a lot in common, and we did come together. It's right around the time I met my husband. And, my husband and I were only dating, and it was so funny. One of the things I said to her, I never forget, this is within the first few times I had seen her. And the reality was I had seen her because I had never, as an adult, I didn't drink the whole time I was having children. From the time I was 20, I quit drinking when I was 23, and I didn't pick up a drink again until I was almost 50. I'd say 50. Yeah, maybe right before I turned 50. But it was a lot of years. It was a quarter century. I did not drink. And so, of course, I didn't go in any bars or anything. And I love music. Really, who doesn't? And yes, I'm an old rock and roll girl. So when I started dating my husband, he started taking me out to see rock and roll bands, at I don't want to call them clubs. They're not clubs. Restaurants with a bar, have music. And, there's this one local one here that we would go to see one of our favorite bands. And this is where I met her. And it was kind of funny. She was there by herself. And I admired that about her. And she admired me because I dance. I dance like no one is watching. And when I hear some good live music, I dance. So that's kind of what brought us together and met each other. And we struck up a really fast friendship. And I think a lot of it was based on timing, as life always is. I remember, it was probably within the first 3 times, I don't know, that I saw her. I remember one time meeting her up there at this place. And we were talking about men. And I talked about my boyfriend who I was dating. I said, I really like him. We have a lot in common. I said, we're having a lot of fun, but, he's not the one. We're having some fun. He's not the one. Well, by golly, 9 years later, here we are married. So I guess he was the one. He is the one. So that was my little story. But I feel very sad that, unfortunately, that we've grown apart. And a lot of the growing apart did occur based on politics. She did meet someone where she was always trying to manifest a man in her life. God love her. And she did. And this man's addicted to Fox News. And a lot of things have changed over the last several years. And I just felt that in order for us all to love one another and live within our values and live a life of integrity, sometimes it's best to let some of these relationships go. Not to the point where, if she ever called me and said she needed anything, of course I'd be there. But I think some of the things she's been espousing with lately go against my basic values. Values on how you treat people and how you live your life. And social responsibility. And so therefore, with sadness, we're no longer, close like we were. And my other incident on friendship was yesterday. I had a message on Facebook out of the blue from who I now am calling my first friend. She was my very first friend. Fast friends at age 4. And we went through a lot together. We grew up together. And I think our friendship, as often happens when you grow up in a neighborhood and go to school and, you're friends for a long time. And around that middle school era and moving into high school, people really become who they are. And some of these friendships that occur, based on the neighborhood and childhood friendships, unfortunately, no longer, they don't last. We move on. And it made me very sad. It made me sad at the time. But we're very different people. And as we've grown, here I am Never had any, how can I put this? I am a natural person. I don't wear makeup, never had any surgery. I don't buy into any of that. I spent my life raising children. That was my priority. That was my dream. And my hobbies definitely are in alignment with who I am. And they keep me outside all the time. I like to ride my bike and hike and camp and backpack and just be outside. I like to be with my kids. I like to be with my grandkids. I guess one of the terms that is used today, I hear with young people, the crunchy mom. I guess I'm the crunchy grandma. You know, I'm still that person. I'm just a very, when I was a kid, some people, I don't know, I've just always had different interests. And this friend, oh, she's gorgeous. My God, you should see her. She's gorgeous. Yes, she's never gotten married. She's never had children. She's had the best that money could buy. She's had Botox, plastic surgery. Just gorgeous. And she lives a very different lifestyle from me. I live in Maryland. I still own property in my hometown. My ex-husband owns the house that I grew up in. I have a lot of ties to my hometown and my old neighborhood. And I guess you could say I'm a townie. I've never really gone that far. I've always come back. And now I live about 15 miles from my hometown. But like I said, I still own property there. I own my condo there. So, yeah. And so we're just very different. And she just sent me a message yesterday about one of the old neighborhood kids, you know, back in the day, the gang. And he passed away. And that just kind of hit me hard. I mean, I've had childhood friends pass away. One that hit me the hardest was a girlfriend of mine passed away, God, right before she turned 50. And we grew up together. She was part of the neighborhood. And she was another person like me. She was a townie. She stayed around town, and she ended up, you know, raising her kids in her mother's house and moved in with her mother as she got older. And this woman was just amazing. She got her freaking PhD, her doctorate, in her late 40s, and pancreatic cancer hit, and she died before she turned 50. That broke my heart. Still does. This person was more a tangential relationship where we were friends with his little sister. But it just really brought a lot of stuff rushing back at me, you know. She contacted me and, hey, how are you doing? And, you know, and she was always the extroverted person that collects friends. And she must know, I think she probably is friends on Facebook with every single person from the old neighborhood. So I was appreciative that she reached out to me. It was fascinating to me how relationships, they come, they go, what they look like, how they change, where they come from. And as we enter this third stage of our lives, and our lives are changing, and for some people, our lives are getting smaller. I feel my life may be small for some. My focus has been on my family, on my kids, on my grandkids. I mean, I have a huge family now. You have 4 kids, and soon I have 6 grandchildren. And I have a husband, thank God. And I have an ex-husband in my life. And I'm grateful for that. And I have in-laws from my daughter's family. You know, my world right now is very big. But as we get older, our worlds do tend to get a little smaller. Part of my world getting smaller is that I work from home. And I don't have that work relationship. I'm looking at another little library. I don't have those work relationships. I do have them virtually, and I'm grateful for the ones that I have virtually. But the reality is, my world is small. So I think, that it's good that we have these, the relationships that come and go through social media. This could be a very good thing for us. Again, as our worlds become smaller and we maybe retire, we may lose some of those contacts, the work contact that we have with people, and our kids are growing and they may move away. My husband's kids are across the country. So, and one of the biggest risks to our health as we get older is loneliness. Is the lack of being social, the lack of contact with people. So for some, things like Facebook and having, a first friend in your life, that's kind of a comfort, It's contact. It's just seeing the web of life that we've created. Kind of think about It's a Wonderful Life. The classic movie. Love that movie. It's a Wonderful Life. All the people that we touch. And knowing that those people are there and that we've touched people, and it feels good. And I hope that can be a comfort to some of us as we get older. So that's my thoughts today. I just really wanted to touch on, relationships and friendships. And it is hard as we get older. Like I said, time. I don't have a lot of time. I work a lot, but I don't have the contact at work that I used to because I work in my house. So I think we all need to really think about how to, extend that web a little bit. Be receptive to those things that come along. Keep those friends. It's okay to not, when you have those little times like with my other friend where maybe you can't be together like you once were because of things, but know that they're there. Maybe reach out every now and again, and I guess that's one reason why I do my Facebook, my YouTube. Relationships. Feeling like I'm talking to someone. Feeling like I'm talking to my peers, people who understand me. I'm searching for that. We're all searching. So with that, I've rambled on a long time. I'm now on a single track in my happy place. Thank you so much for listening. I know I ramble, and if you stuck with me, thank you. I love you. Peace.